Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Resident Evil Project W DLC for Dead by Daylight, going for the Adept Mastermind achievement. This one's going to be done from the killer's side. It is to get a merciless killer rating as the DLC's character in the form of the Mastermind, aka Wesker. So make sure you choose him. You're going to also need to get him to a minimum of level 10 in order to open up 3 free perk slots. The perks you want to run and only run are going to be Superior Anatomy, Awakened Awareness, and then finally Terminus. Make sure you leave the 4th slot empty if you have that available to you, and you can do whatever you want for add-ons or offerings. Make sure once you have that set up in place, make sure you get into the game, and we are going to get started. So, unfortunately for us, Wesker isn't going to be the most stellar killer, as he isn't going to have any super reliable perks nor a really good special ability to fall back on. He is going to be very, very average at best. Also, the game has changed quite significantly since the last major update in terms of mechanics, so if you would normally implore certain tactics that were cheap in order to get your adept achievements, such as camping and tunneling, you're going to have to readjust to the new gameplay meta. So hopefully you can reattune your Dead by Daylight fundamentals to adjust to said meta. That being said, we are going to take advantage of the few things that Wesker is going to be good at. First off, you want to take advantage of his second perk, which is going to be Awakened Awareness. This one is going to be pretty useful. Whenever you are carrying a survivor, you're going to get the aura of any survivors within your immediate radius. This one is definitely going to be the perk you rely on the most, especially whenever you are bringing someone to a hook. Right before you pop someone on the hook, make sure you pay attention to your surroundings, and if someone is going to be hiding around nearby in a corner or something ready to save their hooked teammate, you can prepare for your next move. So taking advantage of this is going to allow you to save a little bit of time instead of picking up another patrol and then trying to find another survivor. You should have a pretty good read on what the general direction of your next movement should be. To add on to your basic attack, you're going to have Wesker's special attack. You use it by holding left trigger to charge it up, and then you let go of it to do a forward firing attack. The attack itself is going to have a pretty decent range, however, you aren't going to be able to turn while using it, so it's going to be very easy to counter, especially if the survivors start moving slightly to the left or to the right, or what's more likely going to happen is they're going to try to loop you, where the attack becomes almost useless. Now, if you do manage to pull off the attack, what's going to happen is the survivors are going to go flying backwards, and if they manage to hit any solid object, they are going to take 1 health state worth of damage. So paradoxically, the attack is going to be easier to use in a big open area. However, since there aren't going to be a ton of obstacles in said open area, you aren't going to be able to use the attack efficiently to damage the opponents. So make sure you do keep that in mind. If you do hit someone with the attack, though, it is also going to put a status condition on them known as Ouroboros. Ouroboros is going to be another infection type of status condition that, when filled up all the way, is just going to put the hindered status condition on the survivor, which is just going to slow down their movement speed. So if you aren't comfortable with using it, I recommend avoiding the special attack in it of itself, as you don't want to waste time trying to 1, charge it up, and 2, have it miss constantly. So if you find the special attack rather cumbersome, I recommend just avoiding it and sticking with your good old Dead by Daylight fundamentals. That being said, you can also use the special attack to vault over pallets, similar to the Legion, so you can take advantage of that. Wesker's first perk in the form of Superior Anatomy is going to allow him to vault slightly faster if the survivor you are currently chasing does a rush vault immediately in front of you. You can take advantage of this during a chase, but do keep in mind the speed boost is going to go away after you vault, and it is going to take a while to charge back up. So both of Wesker's vaulting mechanics aren't going to make up for having good Dead by Daylight fundamentals, where you want to focus on pressuring survivors away from vaulting spots rather than chasing them dead on and trying to vault after them. So make sure you do keep that in mind. Make sure you don't completely fall back on the special ability or the perk. So make sure you keep your chases focused on pressure rather than trying to incorporate vaults, and you should be able to just stick to the good old basics, and you should be able to catch survivors that way. As for Wesker's third and final perk, although a very good perk in it of itself, it's going to be completely useless in a merciless killer adept run, so we are going to avoid it entirely. That is going to be Terminus, which is going to kick in once all the generators are fixed. Obviously, if we are trying to go for the merciless killer rating, we're going to try to end the game before all of the generators are fixed. But if you must know, the perk is basically going to put the broken status on all of the survivors currently in the game once all of the generators are fixed and the exit gates are powered. So, a very useful perk to have, although we aren't going to be relying on it, as again, we are going to have to pretty much finish the game before all of the generators are fixed to get our merciless killer rating. So hopefully you have a good enough foundation in Dead by Daylight fundamentals to make up for Wesker's shortcomings and enough where you can take advantage of his few positivities. But once you do manage to get that merciless killer rating, you should be good for the achievement. Of course, you can hit right bumper on the results screen and check which categories you need to improve on. And then once you manage that +2, you should be good for the achievement. 20 gamer score for this one, and that's all there is to it.